We're back, giving all the glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 50, and verse 18. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. What is adultery? Committing spiritual fornication, following after the ways of this world, including these various holidays, Thanksgiving.
So I just wanted to say Shalom, man.
Thank you, brother. Hey, you should be out here too with us, man. Where do you do the work?
I'm not with anybody yet.
You should be out here with us. You know, especially you. You know, you're an elder. You should be out here helping our people, show them the way. So once you're built up, I mean, you have to you know prophesy to our people. So, but if you don't mind, brother, I'm gonna finish this up real quick, so.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you another time, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Be back out here.
All right. I'll see you.
All right.
Psalms chapter 50, verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. You so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. This is talking about our people as well as the so-called white man, because he is our brother also, literally the twin brother of Jacob, our forefather. Genesis 25 and 25 says he came out all red like a hairy garment, and he slanders his own mother's son. How does he do that? By blaspheming God's tabernacle, which is the saints of the Most High God, which are the Israelites, which are you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. How does he blaspheme? How does he blaspheme us? By reproaching us. That's all that blasphemy means, to reproach somebody, to insult them. He insults us by keeping us oppressed through a system, by putting the other nations above us, by creating a confederacy against God's chosen people, which are the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, in order to cut us off from being a nation. And he blasphemes God's tabernacle by calling us bywords and insults, calling us criminals, calling us rapists. When we are not, we're far from that. We're simple people. We're people that want to do good, but we're put in situations where sometimes we fuck up. But the point is that Psalms 50 and 20, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and thou kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So the Most High God is reproving you goddamn devils, setting the nation of Israel right before your very eyes. Starting with the elders and apostles, great millstone. Those that are giving you the new song, as written up in the book of Revelation, give you the true understanding that has been hidden for over 2,000 years. And I don't give a damn who comes out here, and that's good. That's good. I'll salute you and everything, but you should be out here doing the work. It's not about showing that you believe in the Most High God. It's about going out there and doing the work. If you're built up, which was good, I'm glad the brother came up. It's a good thing. It's beautiful. But we should be out here feeding our people with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, first and foremost. This isn't a club. This isn't a clubhouse. This is about speaking the words of the Most High God and the prophecies, thus saith the Holy Bible. But I'm glad the brother came up. That was a blessing right there. It was beautiful. So the Most High God is setting up the Israelites right before their very eyes. Thus saith the Holy Bible, which is why prophets had to be raised up here in America, Babylon the Great. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, and verse 5. Psalms 34 and 5. They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. So this is about seeking the words of the Most High God, to be enlightened, to the spirit and your understanding being enlightened with the words of prophecy, with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of your nationality, of these prophecies that will come to pass, as spoken of in the book of Ephesians, I believe chapter 2. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 18, the eyes of your understanding. We'll start at verse 17. That the God of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of him. Because the spirit, as it is written, the spirit of Mashiach Yahushua, he called Jesus Christ, is the spirit of prophecy. Ephesians 1 and 18. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of his calling, and what is the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. So this is about having your eyes being enlightened. So 1/3 of our people, they will seek the Most High God while he still may be found. Their eyes will be enlightened, and ultimately it's going to come with the spiritual power that the elect will receive as they are caught up into the chariots of the Most High God, and then we place back on planet Earth as a new Jerusalem descending down from heaven. This is talking about the elect receiving spiritual power. Those who kept their works of the Most High God unto the end. And either, as it is written, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. So this is going back to, let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 12. And Daniel chapter 12 and verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. As it is written in the book of Matthew chapter 13, that those that receive the spiritual power will shine as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. But the wicked will not understand, as it is written. Daniel 12 and 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 31, verse 16. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. So your eyes should be enlightened by seeking the Most High God and his word while he still may be found. Verse 17. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed. Let them be silent in the grave. Let the lying lips be put to silence. You speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. Verse 19. Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men. Verse 20. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence. From the pride of man thou shalt keep them secretly in their pavilion, from the strife of tongues. And that starts with seeking the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in these latter days, as this ministry is coming to a close. as the breaches are being closed up upon the house of David, which are the elect, which are the tower of the flock, which are those that will receive the everlasting tabernacles, as written in the book of Ezra. This is book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 9. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that say that they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. That's talking about these goddamn sewer rats that are in the land of Jerusalem now, as well as you Arabs, which are in the Holy Land. So we are the saints of the Most High God, and we will possess the kingdom, as it is written by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. You shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, which is spiritual power. And there's the devil casting some of us into prison is going to happen in Jacob's trouble. It's talking about FEMA camps, which 2/3 of our people will be caught up in that, as well as you have the nations. Why? Because this devil will come down the great wrath, knowing that his time is short, as it is written in the book of 2nd Ezra. You will be as a madman, sparing none, and his blessing is a sword, and ultimately, Most High God will put that beast spirit in him to use a sword, which is a weapon, his weapons that he has. So you will be as a madman, sparing none. This is all going to happen during the time of Jacob's trouble. This is how some of these tribes will be roused up in these latter days, because there will be a lack of water, a lack of bread. You have right now these these Amazon stores that where you can walk in and just grab your groceries and walk out and get charged via their technology. But what's going to happen when you exclude some people? They're going to be waiting right outside. So those things are coming to pass upon America, Babylon the Great. He will rise up the tribes as well as you have the nations, according to the Holy Bible. Revelation 2 and 11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. The second death is the ICBM missiles coming down upon this great hill to burn her up and turn it into a desert, as well as the chariots of the Most High God, the lasers cutting down 2/3 of our people, as well as you have the nations. You're finished, done. Thus saith the Holy Bible. Psalms chapter 68 and verse 2. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. That's going to happen with the chariots descend from the third heavens upon America, Babylon the Great. During that same time, the ICBM missiles will come and melt you goddamn devils up, as well as 2/3 of our people, which are rebellious. Psalm 68 and 3. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Let them exceedingly rejoice. And we're glad you goddamn devils are going down. We rejoice in your fall, and we say, Barada Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, for giving us the spirit and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in these latter days to know what we must do, to give us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these prophecies that will come to pass, which is why the Most High had to raise up prophets here in America, Babylon the Great, to show you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans know the things that will come to pass, and they are true, that they are faithful and true. They'll say it the Holy Bible. Says, This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and verse 10. Isaiah 47 and 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth thee. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. Thou hast said in thy heart, and I am, and none else beside me. He's talking about the devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man. Your knowledge has perverted you. Your technology, which the Most High God gave into your hands, has perverted you. You were drunk with power. And you have made these other nations to drink of your philosophies. And they are drunk as well, which is why the saints of the Most High God have to set order back on planet Earth, to divide your nations back into your own inheritance, which was from the beginning. Verse 11, therefore evil shall come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. They shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Shall they be as stubble, burn as a fire in the flame. You goddamn devils, you finished. And 2/3 of our people, they're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Isaiah 47 and 15. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall serve thee. So the Most High God is going to rouse these other nations to burn up this great whore. And when this great whore is burnt up, all these other nations which have profited off America, Babylon the Great, they will return back to their own quarters. Meaning, they will not no longer profit off this great whore. And all these things will come to pass suddenly, which is the time of Jacob's trouble, World War III, the mandate throughout the whole earth of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, as well as FEMA camps, which will come upon this great horde. Coast Guard troops cover in the streets, one house invading another, for the lack of water and the lack of bread. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, and verse 10. Let favor be shewn to the wicked, yet you will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness you will deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. So although favor is shown to the wicked, which is talking about when the other nations go into captivity, as well as the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, although favor be shown unto them, they will still be wicked, which is why they have to be Obadiah 1 and 18. Verse 11, Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yet the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. So ultimately, they're going to get burnt up and be done away with, because they are the wicked of the earth. They can't help it but to be goddamn devils. But you other nations are going to be taught all over again, and then be set back into your own land. Isaiah 26 and 12. Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us. Thou hast also wrought all our works in us. O Lord our God, other lords beside thee have dominion over us. But by thee only we will make mention of thy name. So the elect will make mention of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, commit his works unto the Most High God. prophesying to our people, warning them about the great destruction coming upon this great world. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? It's talking about the chariots of the Most High God, the so-called UFOs that you read about throughout the Holy Bible. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they shouldest be judged, that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets. So the nations are angry because the Israelites are waking up. They're angry because they know that this man system is going down, and the prophecies are being made manifest. God said the Holy Bible. This land is finished, done. We got next. You got them devils, Kwame Asherala, and the Most High God will deliver his elect. God said the Holy Bible. You got them devils, we rejoice and you falling. Why? Because it is written in the Holy Bible, and these things will come to pass. And our reward is a kingdom which they have dominion upon you goddamn devils. You are the heathens, to set order back on planet Earth, as it is written by the prophets of old. Revelation 11 and 18. And to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Starting with the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man. So the nations are mad. And we're back. The Jews are black. The prophets are back to give you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in these latter days, to warn the elect, to warn our people about this great wrath that is coming upon this great world, which is our RFID chip, Revelation 13 and 16. One house of it in another, a lack of water, a lack of bread. The Most High God will rise up, you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Some of you will seek the Most High God in these latter days. Some of you will continue to rebel and will ultimately take the RFID chip, which at the same time will come upon this great horde, World War III, and throughout the whole earth. And then this great horde will get burnt up, as well as those who take the RFID chip. So all these things will come upon America, Babylon, the Great suddenly. But 2/3 of our people will not understand. They're still destroyed for the lack of knowledge, and they are not seeking the Most High God while he still may be found. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel, to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, to every nation, and kindred, and tongue, and people. So what is the everlasting gospel? Salvation unto the elect, destruction unto 2/3 of our people, as well as you other nations. You're finished, done. Thus saith the Holy Bible. And we're out here to be a burden unto America, Babylon the Great. And we're out here to warn you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans that the doors of mercy are closing as you see the last of these prophecies coming to pass. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 9. And he saith unto me, right blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true sayings of God. So these are the true sayings of God that were given to you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. The marriage supper of the Lamb is to be joined unto Yahushua Mashiach via the chariots of the Most High God, and ultimately to be given spiritual power to descend as that New Jerusalem coming down from the heavens. But like I said, 2/3 of our people will not understand how serious this thing is. Revelation 19:10, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he saith unto me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So this is what it's about, the prophecies of the Holy Bible, calling you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans back to your heritage, to your true nationality, which is these laws, statutes, and commandments, the faith in Hamashiach Yahushai, who we call Jesus Christ. Not the way that not the way to which we've been taught, which is nothing but lies through these so-called religions, Christianity, Catholicism. All these things are built upon nothing but lies. But in these latter days, everything is being revealed. Thus saith the Holy Bible, started with the elders and apostles, great millstone, who taught us this 100% truth. And we're continuing in the doctrine to give you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hit the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat the flesh, and burn her with fire. So ultimately, this great whore is going to be burnt down. So 2/3 of our people will continue to walk after their own ways, as it is written. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 21. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord God. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. So this is what's coming. Great division. One house invading another. FEMA camps. Coast Guard troops covering the streets. A lack of bread, a lack of water, and one house invading another. The RFID chip, which will be mandated throughout the whole earth. And then World War III will come. Ezekiel 38 and 22. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. So this is what's coming to this great whore, as well as throughout the whole earth during Armageddon, which is World War III. Fire, brimstone, the ICBM missiles, great desolation throughout the whole earth. So the Most High God will justify and redeem his elect out of this great whore before all these things come to pass. Ezekiel 38 and 23. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So the Most High God, as it is written in Romans chapter 9, this is one purpose of him raising up Pharaoh, to show his power in him. But 2/3 of our people will not understand. They choose to be rebellious. The other nations as well. Which is why the Most High God has raised up the harbinger of death, which is the Esau, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. To put your goddamn rebels down. You're finished. You're done. This land is finished. It's done. The ICBM missiles will burn this great whore. Thus saith the Holy Bible. It says in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So all these things are coming quickly, and they will come to pass. The second woe is past, which was World War III. The third woe is the second woe was World War II. The word will come to pass, and is coming quickly, is Armageddon, which is the third woe, which is World War III, which is the nations of the armies fighting against each other. This is during the time when the RFID chip is mandated in America, Babylon Great, as well as throughout the whole earth. Revelation 13 and 16. So this devil knows that he has but a short time. So Revelation 11 and 14.